Phoenix is a distance away, of course, from Las Vegas, but the implication being that you're coming out of Mexico again to fight. And there's the IBF light flyweight title belt. And didn't faze Gonzalez. He's been everywhere to fight. I mean, he's been to Korea more times than... well, who's the president over there this week? Syngman Rhee?
That's about it. Yeah, and you know, if he has a home, a turf, of course, in the United States, it would be at the Forum in California. This is not it. This fight was supposed to be in Phoenix originally, where this man, I watched 16,000 people turn out at the America West Arena to see Carbajal fight Robinson Cuesta. They are rabid fans for him in Phoenix, and even in this town, you can hear the reaction to Carbajal. A lot of his fans have followed him here.
And, of course, 2 belts. Let's check the tail of the tape. Not only are there 2 belts, there are 2 ring announcers. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Carbajal is 25, Gonzalez 26. Carbajal is 4 inches taller than Gonzalez, and they committed 107 and 107 and a half. 63, 64 inches in reach. Little to choose between the 2. The IBF WBC rules are combined for this co-title go. 10-point must system, 3 knockdown rule in effect. No standing 8 count, saved by the bell on the last round only. And only the referee, Mills Lane, can stop this fight. Now we've got 2 ring announcers. Jerry Roth, Stewart, and Minton are the judges at ringside. The announcing, I think the opening remarks, along with Michael Buffer. Now, Michael Buffer is kind of a good luck talisman, in addition to being an outstanding ring announcer, for the Michael Carbajal camp. And there's Michael right there, and they have asked that he be allowed to introduce Carbajal. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is going to introduce Humberto Gonzalez. So I'm going to start off by throwing it to Jimmy, and we'll let it go from there. Jimmy, if you will.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the beautiful Las Vegas Hilton as we present the main event of the evening, La Explosion, the long-awaited showdown and unification of the IBF and WBC light flyweight titles, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing and brought to you by Top Rank Incorporated and Forum Boxing Incorporated in association with the Las Vegas Hilton and Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. This bout is co-sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, President Jose Sulaiman, the supervisor Osvaldo Bisbal. In conjunction with the International Boxing Federation, President Bobby Lee, Supervisor Alvin Goodman. Along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Bruce Lane, Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave, with the Chief Inspector Mark Ratner. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Pomansky, Dr. Robert Boyd, Dr. Al Capana. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, James Cavan and Mike Lasella. Introducing the judges at ringside. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Jerry Roth. From Lawnside, New Jersey, John Stewart. From Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Mexico, Omar Mintun. And the referee in charge of this bout, he will be giving instructions after the introductions, Mills Lane. All right, fans, here we go. This is it, the main event of the evening, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim and weighing in at an even 107 pounds. A man who in 1988 captured the hearts of all Americans, especially those of Mexican heritage, when he brought home to Phoenix, Arizona, an Olympic silver medal. His road to pride and glory continues as a professional with a perfect record of 27-0. His punching power proven with 15 knockout victories. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Presenting the undefeated IBF light flyweight champion of the world, el hombre con las manitas de piedra, Michael Carbajal! And his opponent across the ring, introducing the defending WBC light flyweight champion of the world, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing yellow trunks with black trim, hailing from Ciudad Neza, Estado de Mexico. He weighed in at a ready 107 1/2 pounds with a fine record of 35 wins, only 1 defeat, with 26 big wins by way of knockout. He is the 2-time WBC light flyweight champion, known to the boxing world as El Pequeño Gigante de Neza. Introducing Humberto Chiquita Gonzalez. Once again, referee in charge of this bout now to give instructions, Mills Lane.
All right. All right, that's a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on.
There's more shtick in this ring right now than I do in my act. You know that? I'm telling you.
Are we talking there's no business like show business?
Michael Buffer got off the plane, couldn't even get his tuxedo on.
No.
He had to be here in his blue jeans because he couldn't get his
Weathers the
tuxedo.
storm back east.
Who got here?
All right, here we go. It's scheduled for 12. The unification light flyweight title. Carbajal is the IBF champion, and Humberto Gonzalez the WBC champ.
And Tom, are you surprised already that Gonzalez is coming out right-handed instead of left-handed? I would have thought he would have come out as a lefty.
And Carbajal threw a right hand on him that had good night. Humberto written all over it. The guy just did right.
Now, the wide punches of Gonzalez, which we're already seeing, are the ones that Carbajal thinks he can exploit in this bout.
Between these two guys, 62 victories. 27 for Carbajal in an undefeated career. 35 for Gonzalez. Looks the left to the body and throws the right hand in on top of that. Carbajal in the corner right above it. To the delight of his fans, Gonzalez bangs away with a left and then a right.
And sometimes when Michael Carbajal gets in trouble, it's because he lets this happen. He lets a fighter like Gonzalez come in and push him against the ropes and whack him with punches.
Gonzalez has a tendency, Al, when he throws that left to bring it, by way of third base, which might leave him wide open for that uppercut.
Yeah, and Carbajal has a good right hand. Now, on the inside, Carbajal is a better inside fighter than some would think. And it's Gonzalez is finding that out right now. But, of course, as you know from watching Gonzalez, and you see him there, he works very well on the inside also.
He does indeed. He may be atypical of the tough Mexican fighter, loves to go to the body and is like a wind-up toy. Crank him up and he's going to be there as long as he can be there. They don't take backward steps.
There's the right by Carbajal. This cannot be anything but a good bout. You're seeing why right here. Both men, good punchers, good technicians. Carbajal may be a little better technician, but Gonzalez is tough as you would want with a lot of power.
You toss in some dedication on top of both of that and all of that, and you've got yourself in for a busy evening. These two guys don't necessarily like each other, respect each other to be sure, but they aren't friends.
And I'll tell you what, early in the match you can see, what we're seeing is the Michael Carbajal who was thinking offense instead of defense. And when you see, now Gonzalez switches to lefty. Yep. When you see that Michael Carbajal, you're in for a wild night. He'll get hit a lot and he'll hit his opponent a lot. And that's exactly what's happening. This is a great first round.
Worthy of two champions, and that's exactly what they are.
Good. Actually, now I think it was a good ploy by Gonzalez to come out righty, then switch to lefty. Give Carbajal a couple of different looks.
At the bell, a couple of solid shots from each.
Oh, yeah.
And the first round of dandy is in the book.
Hey, you gotta stay outside. Keep popping him with that, huh? Okay, but wait, I know, Michael, I know, but look, he's gonna try and land some low blows, okay? That's the only thing I don't want, all right? So keep sticking that jab. If he doesn't feel strong and you can stay and connect on his ass, okay. But I want that jab, I want that movement, okay? You're doing good, you're doing good.
Very good advice from Danny Carbajal. They don't want Carbajal on the inside all the time with Gonzalez. And Tom, the temptation is for Carbajal to be there because he is such a good inside fighter. They want more jabs from Carbajal. He only landed 6 of 26 in the first round. They want a better percentage of than that.
And Gonzalez hardly threw any at all. He was busy inside, banging away to the body and or the chin.
Only threw 8 and landed 2.
Gonzalez loves to live inside, as you see him there, backing Carbajal into Michael's corner.
I'm going to tell you something, Tom. I don't care how many times, and there you see the numbers, Gonzalez with the edge in the first round. I don't care how many times they tell Carbajal to jab in this fight. I don't know that he's going to do it.
Gonzalez wearing the yellow trunks with Chiquita. The white trunks. Michael Carbajal. Ruben Castillo, the ubiquitous one. He's been everywhere tonight.
It's been all over the place.
Hasn't he? Joining us here at ringside, I'm Tom Kelly, along with Al Bernstein, of course, boxing's premier analyst. We're going to turn to our Spanish bilingual friend. And Ruben, we want you to be listening in the corner and bring us up to date. Did you have fun galloping around the building here?
It's a great time, Tom.
I know you have great respect for these two guys, Ruben, having talked with both of them, and they are, solid right hand by Carbajal on the left. Gonzalez answered with one of his own and walks right in. There's a good left thrown by Carbajal.
Carbajal wants to counterpunch against him. The danger, of course, is he's taking some punches to give them back. And I think so far what Gonzalez has shown in this bout, that maybe is a surprise to Carbajal, is his ability to punch straighter than Carbajal thought he would, Tom. I think that's why he's landing more punches. There's the body work by Carbajal, Tom, but he leaves himself open up the middle when he throws to the body.
These two guys have been non-stop since the opening bell. A solid left. Another by Gonzalez and another combination left and right. Backs Carbajal against the ropes.
As a lefty, Gonzalez will give Carbajal more trouble. It has always been so with Carbajal when he faces the lefty.
Carbajal in white, Gonzalez in the yellow trimmed in black. Wild right hand that sailed over the head of Humberto. Chiquita Gonzalez.
And you know,
down goes Carbajal. Solid left hand, sent him flat on the back of his lap. The count is at 5, 6. We're in the second round, and the crowd is on its feet and roaring as Carbajal is on his feet.
and that came from Gonzalez in the left-handed stance. So Carbajal finds out about the power of Gonzalez, and I don't think they want Carbajal on the ropes, which is where he is.
Boy, he'd have to get on his bicycle if I were giving him instructions, Al. There's a lot of rounds yet to be fought. There's the bell. He looks at Gonzalez and makes a face at him as he goes by. That didn't hurt Gonzalez at all. All right, Ruben.
I trust him. Mira. Boxéale, man. Tiene que boxearlo cuando está adentro. Que está abajo. Cortito.
Oh, Danny's telling him to throw some short shots when he's inside.
Flash. That was a flash, okay?
Why does he want him inside, Al? That's not the place for him, I shouldn't
Well,
think.
I think now they want him on the inside because of this. At a distance from the left-handed stance, he's having trouble with dealing with Gonzalez. So I think he's saying now, when you're on the inside, you can land the uppercut. And there was the problem on the outside. As a lefty on the outside, Gonzalez gives Carbajal lots of trouble. If he's going to stay lefty, Carbajal's going to have to be on the inside.
Well, a very dramatic moment in round number 2 when Carbajal was decked. Out they come for the third. Carbajal in white. Chiquita, Humberto, Gonzalez in the yellow. Back to the orthodox style. Mills Lane steps in and says, let's get it on, but let's get it up.
And Tom, you know, you've watched Gonzalez in a lot of his fights, and some of them, his technique and I think his intensity have been lacking, but not so tonight.
Oh, no. Well, I tell you, you look at his face, and I don't think he even knows where he is. He is dead focused on the man in front of him. I don't think anything is interfering with his thought process.
There is blood somewhere. I don't know who's cut, but there's blood on the arm of Michael Carbajal. And it might be Carbajal.
It doesn't look as though Gonzalez is showing any blood as Carbajal bangs away.
They are banging heads in there. It's Gonzalez. It's the left eye of Gonzalez. And it came from a right hand of Carbajal.
Carbajal lands a solid shot on Gonzalez.
And look how this fight has changed now on the inside. And Carbajal told Danny, his brother, I can fight better on the inside. And Danny said, stay on the outside. But Danny changed his tune after he saw that knockdown. So give him credit for being adaptable.
Well, I tell you, they are forehead to forehead. And not all of the punches are landing above the belt. But they are throwing them from everywhere.
Carbajal throwing the right hand. And, I mean, he is getting it in against Gonzalez because Gonzalez is lowering his left.
Al, I talked to Danny Carbajal earlier. He said he's going to start throwing, have Michael throw the right hands early in the round, and he's going to try to take him out with the left hook.
It is the left eye of Gonzalez that is bleeding. Exactly where, we'll have to get a better look at it. Gonzalez puts Carbajal to the ropes right above us. Another left hand sends Carbajal back.
Carbajal has always had trouble with the straight left from a southpaw, and he's having trouble with it tonight, but boy, that is an angry cut, and I think it did come from a punch, not from a clash of heads. So that could be real trouble for Gonzalez.
Been a good round for Carbajal. The best part of the round for Gonzalez is at long range with that left hand, Al, as you pointed out.
And Michael has been able to stay inside and land right hands whenever he feels like it, right on the eye of Gonzalez.
Good solid right by Gonzalez. Drives Carbajal back. Gonzalez again on top of his man, but Carbajal shoves him away, and they're at long range.
This is not the game plan that they anticipated in Carbajal's camp. It is what Gonzalez wanted, minus the cut, of course. But there's no question Gonzalez has been hit with so many counter right hands by Carbajal that way more than they anticipated or wanted.
Above us, they turn everything loose, these two. Gonzalez with a flurry of short, on-the-target punches as we come to the close of round number 3.
The combination punching of Gonzalez, a big surprise, I'm sure, to Carbajal.
We're in the corner now. Oh, look at that cut. That is a tough cut, Ruben, right above the eye there.
It's right in the eyelid. He wants to throw the punches right to the face, not hit his gloves.
Y cuando lo arrincones le tiras 4 derechas, izquierdas y derechas. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He wants to get him in the corner and then throw 4 combinations, left, right, left, right.
Píntalo, píntalo.
They want him to feint also.
Ondea el cuerpo, píntalo y lo tiras.
Here's another look back at some of the action. Carbajal had some very fine moments in round number 3.
Time he found on the inside 2 punches would work for him. The uppercut, there it is, and also the short right hand, which Ruben alluded to that Danny Carbajal had wanted him to throw in this bout.
On our card tonight, nothing has gone the distance. There's been a knockout in every one of our fights, and here we are in the unification title go for the light flyweight title. That's Gonzalez in yellow, Carbajal in white. Carbajal was down from a straight left in round number 2.
We said that it became a battle of the inside. Only 21 of 158 punches in the last round were jabs. They were all power punches, and they were throwing every punch for a knockout.
Mills Lane, the referee, took a moment to chastise Gonzalez. They heard low blows. Of course, he has the right to take a point away.
And of course, remember, with Carbajal being down, that would have been a 2-point round when he was sent down.
That's right.
But I don't know.
Good right hand by Carbajal.
The likelihood of this going to a decision right now just seems remote to me.
It does to me, too.
And Carbajal's right hand now giving Gonzalez a lot of trouble.
Good uppercut. Another one by Gonzalez. Another straight left. More of them.
Carbajal moved just to his left there off the ropes. He should make that move more often. And boy, that left eye looks so angry of Gonzalez. It's not only cut, it's also swollen.
And blood continues to trickle down from it. His corner's done a nice job, but they're going to have to be at their very best to stem the foe. Carbajal bangs away. Let me tell you something. 107 and a half pounds, and these two little guys just whack away.
They're hard punches for their weight, both of them, and they're showing it. There's that short right again by Carbajal. Gonzalez finds it very difficult on the inside to defend against that shot.
A lot of blood on the face of Carbajal, but it's Gonzalez's blood. Carbajal is undefeated, 27-0. Gonzalez on a cut. The only fight he lost. He's 35-1. Two great champions. Again, that left brings a roar from the crowd.
You see Carbajal trying to work his way inside where he's actually safe from that straight left. So, see, there's where he can land the right hand, Carbajal. Only on the inside. From the outside, he gets countered with the left hand of Gonzalez.
Carbajal having a good round, several combinations, and now Gonzalez backs him into the ropes above us.
Chiquita Gonzalez, you look at his face, he is so determined in this bout. He's taken a lot of counterpunches by Carbajal, but it is not deterring him at all. He's coming forward.
Banging away inside the short, solid punches. Gonzalez scoring repeatedly.
Tom, I think the combination punching and the hand speed of Gonzalez much better than I've seen in any other bout I've watched him in. And you can see it has had an impact on Carbajal. He is surprised.
No question about it. Carbajal's been great with that right hand, but Chiquita just seems to ignore it, walking right through it, throwing punches and bunches. What a great fight.
Oh, there's nothing there. Good. Give me another one, Angel. Give me another one. Okay, when you get a chance to land that upper, I told you, that son of a bitch hit you a low blow, give it back to him. Mills don't want to do anything about it, you take care of it. If you give him one, he'll stop. Okay? He'll stop.
Michael Carbajal has been so effective on the inside. When he's in there, that's the range he can land that right from. Now, when he's farther back, he can't land the right because Gonzalez is able to deal with it better from the southpaw stance. But here on the inside, that's the range where that punch can get there, and it bounces right off the eye, which, of course, is still cut.
And is going to be a worrisome, bothersome thing at best for Gonzalez as we get on here with the fight. Out they come for round number 5. Carbajal still effective with the right. Down he goes. Gonzalez knocks him down across the way. Second knockdown. At 7, he's up. Humberto Gonzalez runs across the ring after him.
This time Carbajal is hurt.
He is hurt indeed. And Gonzalez sensing that the entire title can be his.
But Carbajal counterpunching back off those ropes, but he would do better to use his legs if he has them. Wow.
Gonzalez disdaining any form of defense, walking right in on his man.
And that's where Carbajal's safe. I'm telling you, he needs to stay right off the chest of Gonzalez. That's the only place he is safe.
Carbajal suddenly landing some good solid rights.
Do you think that maybe Chiquita has punched himself out a little bit on that exchange?
He could be tired.
We'll see. Carbajal with a low blow gets a warning from Mills Lane. That was a ploy on his part.
Gonzalez. No love lost between these two.
Ruben, I think, was right. I think that Gonzalez is a little tired here now.
Solid right hands by Carbajal, who's fighting his way back from his second knockdown. Now let's see, can Gonzalez reach back and get some second win?
This fight has the makings of a classic because Carbajal has now come back and he is landing some excellent shots against Gonzalez.
But you don't go 27-0 and be a champion without being able to do some stuff in that ring.
The difference in this bout that has shocked Carbajal is the power of Gonzalez and his hand speed.
Gonzalez falling prey to that right hand by Carbajal.
I think Chiquita has pushed himself out a bit, Tom, now.
But you know, the interesting thing is Carbajal not really hurting him with those big solid punches. He's going to have to land a lot of them to make the difference here against Gonzalez.
Unfortunately for Gonzalez, they have all landed right on that left eye, which is cut and is swelling.
This is a classic round. I mean, this one is one of the best rounds, I think, that I've seen in a long time in boxing. And I was privileged to call that 10th round of the Bo Holyfield fight. This one right up there with it.
Carbajal seems to have his mouth open a lot, Ruben, like he's looking for some air. See the mouthpiece a lot.
I think that's more habit than anything else, Tommy. He does that from round 1 on.
Just a few seconds left in round 5. What a battle. Worthy of two great champions. No matter what the division. There it is. Woo.
Here's where Chiquita Gonzalez landed a strong right hand and then another right that was almost a hook, really, that sent Carbajal down. Carbajal exchanging with him at longer range, and that's where Gonzalez was dangerous. And, of course, the power of Gonzalez really never questioned, but what some people wondered is would he hit Carbajal with those kind of punches?
That cut over the left eye of Gonzalez is an ugly thing at best. Boy, I tell you, is he trim-jawed, huh? Here we go for round number 6.
And now an important point here is if we're talking about potential decisions, twice now Michael Carbajal's been down. There could be two two-point rounds against him.
Indeed.
And again, is anybody using the jab? Only 5 of the 83 punches landed in the last round were jabs.
Long right hand. Connected, but not as well as Carbajal wanted it to. Counters with the right.
I think that Carbajal is shocked that Gonzalez has not been hurt by some of the power punches he has landed.
I'm very surprised, Tom, and now that Michael Carbajal has thrown punches in bunches. Michael's always been known to throw 3 or 4 shots at a time. He's taking 1 shot at a time in this fight.
And here's Gonzalez back fighting in the orthodox stance now, when he seemed to be at his very best as a southpaw.
Ironically, it has been Gonzalez who has thrown many more combinations. Now he goes back to lefty, an excellent move.
And scores with a right and left combination.
This fight reminds me a lot of when Livingstone Bramble fought Ray Mancini. He fought righty for a long time, then moved to lefty. When he moved to lefty, it made a big difference.
Now he's back as a right-handed orthodox-style fighter. Gonzalez, that is, forehead to forehead.
There's the jab of Carbajal, the one they wanted earlier. And when Gonzalez is in a conventional stance, that jab can land. And I don't know if I was Chiquita Gonzalez, I don't know that I'd fight as a righty at all in this bout anymore.
Oh, nice combination by Carbajal. Comes back and scores with the left hand, missing with the right.
If Michael Carbajal would come back to win this unification bout for the rest of his career, coming back in that 5th round would remain a special moment.
Gonzalez steps it up a notch, driving Carbajal back as he moves in on the man from Phoenix. He's had him down twice in the 2nd round and again in the 5th. We're in round number 6. Less than a minute to go in the 6th round. It's scheduled for 12. They're not quite halfway through it. Boy, conditioning is going to be as important an item in this fight, gentlemen, as anything else.
And the scoring is going to be difficult. The only thing that makes this fight in favor of Gonzalez at this point are the 2 knockdowns. Other than that, they've been so even in what they have done.
Gonzalez again with that left eye bleeding.
Also closing, I think, Tom. I mean, the vision is going to be tough.
That's right, the swelling. He backs Carbajal against the ropes and lands a series of punches, most of which were unanswered. Again, and he's got Carbajal, I thought, in a bit of trouble over there.
And then Carbajal came back with a big right hand of his own. That's a special performance by both men. I don't know if they can do this over 12 rounds.
Él ya está muy cansado, Beto.
He says he's very tired.
Todos arriba. Sí, hay que pinta y tira arriba. Pinta y tira arriba.
He wants him to feint and throw up top.
Que le pegue sobre los guantes. Tírala arriba. Manténlo esto. Eres más fuerte que él.
They're saying that he's much more stronger than him. Feint and throw the punches over the top.
Derecha, ondea el cuerpo. Esquivando con el cuerpo. Ya está casi desfondado él.
He said they think he's very, very tired, Tom.
No quiero que baje las manos. ¿Eh? Y de vez vez en cuando tira del recto de izquierda, no ya, cuando esté cerca, recto de izquierda y atrás
They want
para
to
derecha.
throw a right hand and a left hook.
There are numbers that indicate how close this fight is, and almost all the rounds have been similar, with Gonzalez throwing more, but landing about the same amount as Michael Carbajal. But those two knockdowns loom large.
Round number 7. In the middle of the ring. Michael Carbajal has been down twice, in the second round and again in the 5th.
And one of the main differences here is simple. Carbajal is not hurting Gonzalez with his big power punches. Gonzalez is hurting him.
A flurry by Humberto, and he's got Carbajal on the ropes.
Well, it's interesting. Coming off what was a lackluster performance against Melchor Castro that you guys saw, this is a different Humberto Gonzalez, isn't it?
No question about it. But I think everybody has a bad day every now and then, and even great champions can throw in a clinker. It's the great champion in him that makes him win despite having a bad day.
Tom, I'm sure you and Hal agree with me that you can see the confidence in Chiquita's face, although it is battered.
Yeah, you're right, because he knows he can walk in. The problem is, can he continue to sustain those right hands to the eye without this fight being stopped?
I think they've done a remarkable job in stopping the blood.
They have, yeah, and it's only the question of the swelling. Oh, my. That should be a knockdown. That should be a knockdown. He went against the ropes, and it kept him up. Mills Lane made a mistake there.
All of a sudden, Carbajal renewed interest as he sends Gonzalez reeling against the ring ropes.
But give Gonzalez credit. He is coming back as Carbajal did. But I'll tell you what, that should have been a knockdown because he went reeling against the ropes and only the ropes kept him up.
Again, the right hand by Carbajal. He hurts Gonzalez with a right and then a left. Another right and left. And Carbajal is fighting his way back. What a battle. What a testimony to two great tough champions this one is. Unbelievable.
And there were questions about both coming into this fight. There are no questions now. Skill-wise, courage-wise, and power-wise, they have shown what they have, and it's plenty, and it's the best this division has to offer.
Oh, there's no question about it. Well, as long as there was no knockdown, it would have to be a very one-sided, impressive round for Carbajal. Oh! He's got Gonzalez down, and he may not get up. More. Only he's not going to get up. It's done. It's over. Carbajal comes from behind to win it. An amazing come from behind victory for Michael Carbajal. In the 7th round, he turned it upside down and wins the unification bout, and the ring is bedlam, Al.
The punch that did it was a huge left hook after he had hurt Gonzalez early in the round. And Michael Carbajal will forever remember the 5th round when it could easily have been him that went down. And I don't think it's overstatement to say these two men put on more than a special performance.
This has to be the fight of the year. Would you agree?
Oh, it's the best fight I've seen in a year, I'll tell you that, and maybe in a lot of years.
Spectacular performance by both men. And what was at work here, I think, and it's, we've been given the scoring, and you know what? Michael Carbajal was behind by 4 points on every single scorecard.
Can I tell you, on my scorecard, which means nothing, I only had him winning 1 round.
Well, so he needed a knockout, or would have at some point, to get back to win this fight. And while he wasn't hurting Gonzalez with his shots earlier in the fight, he ended up hurting him very badly with the left hook. And that young man, Chiquita Gonzalez, even though he lost this fight, Tom, I think answered in the affirmative any questions about him as a fighter. He is still a tremendous fighter.
Here's another look at how it all ended. Remember, this man Gonzalez had been knocked into the ropes keeping him from going down. And now Carbajal hit him with a left hand, and as Gonzalez reached for him and Carbajal stepped away, Chiquita went to the deck. There's a right.
I think that punch hurt him, but this left
There's
hook
the left.
right on the chin. I don't think you can land a more compact left hook.
Tommy, remember I was telling you that Danny Carbajal said they're going to show the right hand in the early part of the fight, and try to take him out with the left hook. Exactly what happened.
And that is exactly what did take place. And the fact that this was such a short, compact left hook, I think is what made it really work for him.
Well, it's interesting. Carbajal had won only one round. He was trailing by 4 points. He had been knocked down twice. First in the second and again in the fifth.